Welcome to the Voice of the Coast. I am your host, Danica Long. With me, we have Scott Burdett. If you know that last name, that's right. His father is the former principal of Franklin Senior High School, but he has a name all his own. He's actually, by day, he's a football and baseball coach, and by night, he is the Hulk, rocking it up with his band, Undivided. Thank you so much for being here with us.
I appreciate you having me.
Well, I want to first talk to you about Undivided. Undivided is going to be playing in Jazz Fest.
Yes, ma'am.
Quite an honor. It's so good to actually have this interview with you because you're local. And I imagine you keep this going up, you're going to be making it to the national stage.
That's the hope. We just keep doing what we're doing and hope it gets us in the right direction.
Speaking of getting you in the right direction, how did you even make your way to being featured in Jazz Fest?
So John Jay, we call him, sent in an application to perform at the Jazz Fest, and he actually turned in the application a couple of days late. And like I said, they must have liked what they heard because they picked us and then decided to put us on the second biggest stage at the festival. So that's kind of how it went down.
Yeah. Look, y'all, I've been telling myself, you're so cool, calm, and collected, just too cool for school. But this is really quite an honor. And, you know, from all of us, and I imagine even folks who are watching, we want to tell you congratulations for this honor.
We appreciate it.
But we'll talk about the genre. So, we're, you know, who is Undivided? What do they play? And we talked a little bit about it, and you call it
we
hip-hop.
kind of coined the term hip hop.
Okay. Tell me what that genre includes.
So almost all of our original music, except for some of the things we're working on right now, is a mix of country, rock, and hip hop. Some lean a little bit more hip hop, some lean a little bit more rock, some lean a little bit more country, but it all kind of centers around that fusion.
Yeah. And that's quite interesting. So in my mind, I kept thinking, okay, who or what's the sound like? And the first thing that comes to my mind is kind of Kid Rock. Would you say that's an appropriate similarity?
Kid Rock is probably one of the closer associations that we've been given. Kid Rock, Jelly Roll, Brantley Gilbert, Colt Ford, guys like that.
Okay. And I actually watched, you guys have a video. You have some music out, so where can they find you?
We have 5 music videos out. All our music videos are on YouTube, youtube.com/@UndividedBand. And then our Facebook page, Undivided Band Official. Our Instagram page, Undivided Band. TikTok, Undivided Band. We're all over the place.
Oh, you got a TikTok now. Y'all know that's my thing. I go down a rabbit hole when I'm on TikTok. So tell me, how did the members of this band get together? Because there's 6 of you, right?
Correct. Jay and Jared Bridges, the two of the vocalists, got together to do it was supposed to be a one-off kind of mixtape of these songs that ended up being our tracks. And Jay, who I played in the band with years ago, called me to come do some lead guitar work on a song called Sundies, which ended up being our first track as a band. And maybe 3 weeks after we did the studio session, he called me and offered me the lead guitar position in the band. They just decided they were going to put a whole band together and see where it goes. He met Kevin Darr, our bassist, in Mississippi at a show for someone else, and they just kind of got to talking, and he became part of the band. And I don't know if it happened before or after he offered to me, but he became part of the band. And then Kevin's nephew Austin was brought in as a rhythm guitarist, and we kind of went through 2 or 3 drummers before we found Kevin Weber, who is no longer with us due to health issues.
Okay, you got to get a drummer some. Get a drummer some.
Yeah, he's no longer with us due to health issues, but he does come back and play with us from time to time. And our new drummer is Ian Willis. He's been with us for a few months now. Okay. So he's not new, but he's new.
Where do you guys span? Like, what's the locations of, you know, where you guys, your hometown range from?
So Kevin is from Mandeville. Kevin Darr is from Mandeville. Fun fact about him, he was the original bassist for a band called 12 Stones in the early 2000s. Austin is originally from Seattle, lives in Ponchatoula. I'm from Franklin. Jay is originally from Lafayette. Jared lives in Lafayette, but was originally from Toledo Bend, Zawali.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So good to have a local that's going to be on the stage at Jazz Fest. Come on back. We want to learn more about Scott as well as Undivided Band. So come right back here on The Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to the Voice of the Coast. Again, I'm your host, Danica. Along with me, Scott Burdett, who is a member of Undivided Band. He's the lead guitarist, but also, let's just talk about it. He's also a football and baseball coach at Centerville High School.
Yes, ma'am.
And one of the things I know, like if one of my teachers was being featured on this world-renowned stage, because really Jazz Fest in New Orleans is very well known, I'd be so giddy and just like, oh my gosh, have all these questions for you and just like, we know a rock star. So what has been the response from the students, the staff at the place, where you work?
As far as the students go, it's kind of still just business as usual. I don't really go out of my way to bring up the music or anything like that to the kids. There's been a few of them that have asked me about it, and if they ask me about it, we'll talk about it and then kind of get back to what we were doing. And then the staff, some of them have seen me perform, mostly me and Jared and I, excuse me, like at the Bellevue in Franklin or out on Main Street or at the cafe. Places like that. I don't know if too many of them have seen the whole band. Again, it's not something I just go out of my way to bring up at work. I try to keep the two things separate.
Gotcha. Now let's talk about family. Everybody likes to let their hair down with family. So what about family? What's the response from them?
The families, they're really enjoying it. My parents hate that we play so late when we do play. It's kind of past their bedtime.
Oh, gotcha.
But the response has been really good from my parents and the rest of my family. One of my little cousins is one of our biggest fans.
Yeah.
She really likes our song Rodeo.
Okay.
So we did some stuff for her and got her some stuff from the band for Christmas. And, we
That's pretty
appreciate
cool.
the support.
Right. Then, let's go back to Jazz Fest. So, I mean, you're going to be on which date and which stage?
We will be on the Gentilly Stage on May 5th, the Friday.
Okay. So hopefully we get a lot of folks from St. Mary Parish that can make their way out there to give you the support. Speaking of support, just from, your fan base, how's your fan base? Is it growing? Do you notice that you're getting more and more people?
It is growing. I hate to say this, but I'll call a spade a spade. Our fan base outside of Louisiana is slightly larger
Okay.
than our fan base in Louisiana.
And let's talk about it. And I'm just curious, and I'm wondering because we're thinking about South Louisiana. Most times when you think about the music here, you think about Swamp Pop, Zydeco. Do you think that has a lot to do with it?
I do. I think
Okay.
a lot of people are just kind of stuck to what they know. But we'll go to Houston or we'll go to Dallas and we'll draw a crowd, or we have shows booked in Mississippi, we'll draw a crowd. Alabama, we'll draw crowds. We haven't been up to Arkansas yet, but we're working to get there. Florida, we're working to get there. Lafayette's always kind of hit or miss with us, and it's weird because we bill ourselves from Lafayette
Gotcha.
just because it's kind of in the middle of everyone.
Right.
Like this weekend, we play at Legends in Scott and then at Route 92 in Youngsville tomorrow.
Okay.
And we're expecting good crowds, but whether there's 20 people or 200 people, they're gonna get a show.
That's awesome.
So
I love that. We know you as a football guy when you played sports. You played baseball, I'm sure, as well.
I was more of a baseball guy.
Baseball,
but yeah.
okay. Chris would know that better than I
Yeah.
would, but I know the name definitely. But I asked about, did you have any experience in the band? Did you play band? And you said no, and
None.
all this is pretty much self-taught.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how did that go?
It went a lot better and is still going a lot better than I ever expected it to. I just kind of picked it up, and I had a little help along the way from musicians like Kip Saunier. And other than that, just a lot of time in front of a computer screen and sitting down figuring it out.
Sounds good. All right, well, come on back. We've got much more to cover right here on The Voice of the Coast. See you in a minute. Welcome back to The Voice of the Coast. Again, I'm your host, Danica Long. With me, Scott Burdett, member of Undivided Band, but also a football and baseball coach at Centerville High School. Shout out to Centerville. I'm sure they're like, yeah, you shouted us out. Yes, of course. But let's talk about shout outs, because I'm floored with the idea that we have someone local who's going to be on Jazz Fest. I grew up on Jazz Fest. This was something that even my dad gave me, kind of told me the humble beginnings of how Jazz Fest started. And look, here we are now, over 50 years, and Jazz Fest is still going on.
Right.
And I just want to know, what does it mean to you as far as the value in it? Because on the headline, some of the headliners are Lizzo, Dead and Company, i.e. Grateful Dead, Santana, Ludacris, who are some of the other, Kane Brown, John Baptiste. To know that you're going to be playing amongst them, alongside them, however you want to say it, that has to do something for you, and even just the value of your band.
It does. As a guitar player, it's really nice to know that my name is a few inches below Carlos Santana's on the list for Jazz Fest. But as the band, and like I said, I don't like to look at it as just me. We're a group. We've done this together. We're going to keep doing this together. As a band, it does a lot for us because no one can take that from us. We've played in that company. We've played in front of that crowd. Knowing what we're capable of, I would bet that we'd probably get called back to play again in the future. But it definitely does something for the stock of the band as far as, hey, we've played this, we're not just some run-of-the-mill band that, trying to think of a nice way to say it.
Well, I think we understand where you're going, right? I mean, you're not just some rinky-dink, man. Like, you really...
We didn't just show up here.
That's it. And there's a place for you. There's a place for you, and you are definitely there. So now you just got to show up and show out.
Right.
Yeah. So I want to know, where do you go from here?
Wherever it takes us. We're just kind of taking things one day at a time, and we're always working on new music and trying to add more original songs to the shows so that we can phase out some of the covers to where eventually we're playing 2 hours of our own music as opposed to an hour of our music and an hour of covers. So that's pretty much where we are right now. We're putting out feelers for different places to play out of state and hoping somewhere along the way the right people hear our music and somebody might want to take a chance on us.
Sounds good. And you guys have only been together for what, a year and a half?
A little over a year. We released our first single October 2021.
Awesome. Okay. Now, question for you, and I want you to ponder this if you haven't already. There's a message in this, because you, not you or the band, sent in your application a day after the deadline. To me, it says, never give up.
Right.
That's what I think.
Yeah, the worst thing somebody can tell you is no, especially in this business.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know if you don't ask, you don't know if you don't try, so why not?
Yeah. And you being a teacher, that definitely be something you can teach to your students.
Definitely.
Right? And, I did ask you, where do you go from here, but where are you now? Like, what can we see from you guys now?
Right now, we have several shows coming up, not too many in this area. We have a lot coming up in Alabama, a few coming up in Mississippi. we have another show in Lafayette coming up in probably June that I can't speak on right now. I think we can't mention it.
Yeah, but
just
not as a
yet.
band. You will be, as Scott and Jared, you'll be playing Bayou to Maine, right, in Franklin?
Yes, Bayou to Maine. Jared and I will be at Bayou to Maine. We will be at the Bellevue Golf Course in Franklin in April. And our shows, he and I together, those pop up just periodically throughout the week. We never know if we'll have one, but we usually do.
And that's mostly country music, is that
Mostly
right?
country
Okay.
music, yes.
All right, come on back. We've got much more to cover right here on The Voice of the Coast. Welcome back to The Voice of the Coast. Again, I am your host, Danica Long. With me, we have Scott Burdett, who is a member, lead vocalist with Undivided Band, as well as a coach at Centerville High School, baseball and football. Let's talk about what you're wearing. Undivided, you have that across your chest. Where can folks buy paraphernalia?
You can get our merchandise through our Undivided Band page on Facebook, Undivided Band Official. Just reach out, send us a message, let us know what size t-shirts, hats. We have koozies. Let us know what size you need. You can cash app us the money. We'll get you the merchandise. All the merchandise is also available at our shows. We set up the merch table, and anytime someone wants to get something, all they have to do is come ask.
And you got to have that. I mean, if you're going to go out to Jazz Fest, got to have the folks in the audience where you're like, oh, there's somebody who has our merchandise on. Because you're a teacher or PE teacher.
I teach a few computer classes,
Computer,
like
okay.
business.
Gotcha. Okay. But also a coach. So you
Yes.
do that in addition to being a coach. Does it ever get in the way of school, like your work
It does not.
or the band work?
It does not. I'm able to balance it out pretty well. I don't miss work unless I absolutely need to, and it's usually not for band things. Unless we have a show that's like way out of state on a Friday where I would have to leave early, I still try to go in and do as much as I can.
Now, you were self-taught when it comes to playing guitar, but what about musically? What about singing?
I was self-taught with that too.
Okay.
I just kind of have figured it out as a necessity.
I'm just curious. I would think as a parent, you're like, I didn't know you could sing. I mean,
me either.
like, what did they say? Like, when did you learn to do this? Yeah, that's pretty much how it was, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of came, and Jared, we kind of diverged most of the singing to Jared because he is a trained country singer. He's got a really great voice. I'll do some background vocals on a lot of our stuff. We have a few songs coming up where I'll be rapping with Jay, and then Jay does probably most of the rapping. I try to do more on the guitar, but
Gotcha.
I can get out front if I need to.
Gotcha. So I looked at one of the videos at least. I know you said there's several. Have you ever played the love interest? Are you out front when it comes to that?
Nah, I mean, if they asked me to or if they needed me to, I mean, I will. But I'm content doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Unless I need to.
Right. Okay. So does it get wild on the road? And maybe look, we're gonna keep it PG, but do the ladies get wild?
No, not really. For the most part, we're a pretty kind of laid back group. I think Jay and I are the only two that are in the group that are single. Everyone else has either wives or girlfriends, and I kind of keep to myself, especially out on the road.
Right. So music is pretty much that's your love. You love to do the music.
I enjoy
and
it.
That's great.
I enjoy it a lot. It's kind of a even though it's going from a hobby to kind of a lifestyle now, it's still a very relaxing kind of escape for me.
Yeah. And it seems like it's also a balance. I mean, you're a teacher, you
Yeah.
know, and then you're a rock star at night. So I mean, does it keep you balanced being a teacher, getting up in the morning, going to work, and knowing that, you know, after school I could be headed out to, you know, to a club, bar, lounge?
It does. I mean, it just gives me something else to look forward to. You know, I enjoy my kids at school. I get up, go to work, and hang out with them and try to help them figure it out. And
Yeah.
then go do my stuff with the band. And I play football for a semi-pro team in Lafayette, so that's
Well,
fixing
now
to
you
kick
tell
off.
me. Really? Now you tell me. What's the name of that organization?
Louisiana Bayou Hurricanes.
Okay. Now, are you known as Hulk there as well?
No, I'm just it's weird. I'm coach there,
Come on.
but I play as well.
All right. Well, look, you're just full of all kind of information. I'm glad I got that out you. So thank you very much for being here.
I appreciate you
And
having me.
Not a problem. And thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you guys next time. Take care. Anything else?